Tyler, what values do you hold about teaching or learning?
Sure. In terms of values, I think what underpins a really strong educational experience, in my view, is having education itself, the content of the education, but also the welfare of the children involved, and finally, the sort of administration of all of those things. So you've got three things, and you're trying to balance them. I think good education, I'm probably going to get this wrong now, but good education involves doing that. And it's hard to, as you can see, it's hard to keep that going. So you're doing this all the time. If you can keep juggling those balls, to me, that's the essence of a really good teaching environment. To have all three things going and in harmony, and that way you get the best experience for both the children and the teacher.
Very nice, awesome. Okay, for our second question, how could you be a good role model for kids?
It's fascinating with children. They look up to adults because they view adults as this strange entity, and they look at an adult and think it's going to be absolutely years before I become that person. And so they naturally look for approval from adults. And so to be a good role model, I think, might be cliched, but to lead by example, to act in a way where once that child gets to the point where they're in your position, they find it normal to behave how the role model has behaved, because that's what they've seen, that's what they've experienced. So part of that would be to uphold values and to show them, to express them. I also think it's really important when children are in their formative years to really spend time to get to know them and to treat the interaction with children almost with the kind of respect that you would when you talk to your adult friends. And so those two things in combination, I think, would make a really strong role model.
Awesome, very well said. For our final question, how would you handle a classroom dispute between two students?
Yeah, well, at the moment in the world of diplomacy, we handle disputes between adults all the time. So it'd be quite nice to handle disputes between children for once, I think. I think the concepts are probably the same in that in any dispute, if we assume that it's not an absolute dispute where there is no room for middle ground, then the key, really, the secret is finding that middle ground and getting both sides to acknowledge that actually a compromise can be made. So let's say that in the classroom, two people are fighting over, I don't know, some pens. In the child's mind, it might be, I need that pen, and I need it now. But if you can express to the child, look, that's a strange way of thinking about it. This pen is available for both of you. You letting go of it for the time being doesn't mean you never get to see that pen. Just having a bit of patience, sharing that pen, and you'll get to use it. And on top of that, the two children who are fighting over this pen, if you can get them to realize that there's a value, there's a quality in being able to share something, it brings people closer together. Suddenly you've educated them in a moral issue as well as resolving an immediate dispute. So it's finding that middle ground, finding a way of connecting with the two or however many people are disputing people, and getting them to realize that almost themselves.
Great, thank you so much, Tyler.
Thank you.